We will also be joined today by someone who scored a 760 some time back. So and then got busy with the deferred MBA application. His name is Pratham. He is still in his college right now. So he'll share the tips as to how he prepared.
Yeah.
Hi Pratham, finally we are able to talk like this. Really, really nice that you could join. So as usual, I always ask what worked for you, how you prepared, what are the areas that you improved in, and what tips would you have for future test takers? Just give me some tips here, like overall the way you would have gone ahead. Yeah, please.
Okay. So yeah, I started my preparation. Actually, I started preparing for GMAT way back in January 2022. I was enrolled with some other institution, but like, I couldn't really understand the topics really well. The material was all over the place, so I didn't really couldn't go ahead with it. And then in around, I believe, September or August, I came across Sandeep sir's course, and I took the demo, and I was really surprised to see how well everything fit into place. And then I started with my preparation. I was like pretty decent with quant from the beginning, uh, but I struggled a lot with verbal, especially RC and SC. So yeah, I struggled a lot with those. I improved upon RC while practicing the way Sandeep sir told us to. That went well, but SC I still couldn't figure out how I was getting a really low accuracy in SC. It was around 50-60%. So I was really troubled. And then what I did was I redid the whole SC course from the beginning, and I made notes for once, and it really helped me a lot. And I think that was where I was faltering, that I wasn't accepting really the fact that maybe there was some issue with my basics, and that is again a plus point of the course, that Sandeep sir teaches everything from the very basic level. Like, he even teaches you what nouns are and adjectives are. So I really appreciate that, and that is what really worked well for me in SC. And yeah, I just made notes and went over those again and again, and then yeah, that's with the course content part. One thing that was really a highlight for me was the practice material provided to us. I believe that is really less talked about, but that was like the best part for me. The practice material given is really the best I have seen across the internet. So the PDF that you guys provide, that's what I'm talking about, the 700 to 800 level questions. The
Right.
explanations are phenomenal. The questions are totally to the point, like totally like only GMAT oriented questions. Nothing is, unnecessary or irrelevant. So yeah, I did those, and I saw a phenomenal jump in my test scores, in my mock scores. So yeah, that was the best part of the course for me. Moreover, I did one mistake I realized throughout my practice, was that I gave a lot of mocks, which was
Mhm.
wrong. I realized it by the end of the time, when I really didn't have a measure of my capacity. I couldn't really gauge my proper performance, as I had given like around 20 to 30 mocks by the time. So yeah, I think
Mhm.
that was a little unnecessary. I could have fared well with maximum 5 or 7 mocks, and that
Right.
is what
Because you
I think.
don't improve, right? If you continue to write, you just don't improve in those weaker areas and then
Exactly.
write the next test, right? This is the
Right,
reason.
right. So yeah, what worked best for me again was the fact that what I did was I maintained an Excel, and in those Excel I used to do the questions first from the 700 to 800 level PDFs that you gave. I did like around 50 to 60 questions in one sitting, and then I would write the answers in front of those, and then I formatted my Excel in a way that it showed me where I was wrong, where I was right, and then I would calculate my accuracy and then go over the topic. I would recognize which topics I was faltering in, and then I would go over the topics again. So that was that was what was really helpful, not giving like tons of mocks. And yeah, like one more thing, I believe that we all know that Sandeep sir is a phenomenal teacher, and everything about him good. But I really appreciate the rest of the team as well. I've been in talks with Richa and some other members from your team as well, and they're really helpful. And honestly, when you see that people are helping you so much, then it comes from inside that you also want to do your best. You also want that their efforts get reflected in your scores. So yeah, I believe the whole organization, the whole course, the practice material, everything, in my opinion, was really great, and it helped me a lot.
A couple of things that you would tell others that they shouldn't do, because you've talked about the content, you've talked about the basics, you've talked about everything. So I
Right.
will not delve too much into it, but what is it that people should avoid doing while writing the test or even while preparing? And then I'll talk about the testing experience as well. But what should people avoid usually? What is your answer to that?
Like one thing that I could point in me was that I was really, uh, in a sense, egoistic from the beginning with the exam. Like if I was stuck on a question, I would stick to it no matter what. I would I would not move to another question unless and until I was completely sure that this was the right answer and I was completely sure that I understood the concept. That helps when you're practicing, but I don't think that really helps while you're giving the exam or giving the mock, because
Okay.
over there you're only wasting your time, and you know it's
Mhm.
the point is not to get every question correct. Your point is not to get everything right. The point is to get a 760 or a higher score, and that can be done by like keeping some questions aside. As you mentioned that there are a specific number of mistakes that you can make. There like you also talked about your exit strategy, that you should spend
Yeah.
I believe max of 2 or 2.5 minutes on a question and then move on if it's not
Right, right, right.
so yeah, that was one thing that I had to like really change in me. So yeah, that is one thing that I would recommend everybody to not do. Like, don't stick to one question completely. If you're not understanding it while you're practicing it, you can reach out to the team. Like, they're really helpful with that. But while you're doing mocks or while you're giving the actual exam, don't like really don't attach yourself to the question.
Right. And also, one more thing you said, that sentence correction is one thing that you took a little for granted in the beginning, hoping
Hmm.
that I know the basics.
Yeah.
So just take us through that. What was that phase like? You also used the word egoistical in some way, or probably something. So what was it to do with this? Or as well that no, anyway, I know grammar, I know English very well.
Right.
Was
Right.
it this way? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, Sandeep sir also talked about this, that the way we are taught, so we are basically taught British English while the GMAT is American English. So the way we are taught, we are not really taught the important things. Most of the topics of GMAT are skipped in school, and we take them for granted that we know it. We have read, like we really go by intuition most of the times, and we believe ki like
Mhm.
I've read this and this sentence like 4, 5, 6 times, so this must be correct. Like this sounds right to me. That is really a very bad approach, in my opinion. So I was in the same boat, and I thought I was well done with the like I could converse well in English and I had great marks and stuff, but really didn't justify like how well I was doing when it came to GMAT.
You would have been
So
quite horrified by 50-60% in SC then.
yeah, actually, it was honestly very like I can't really explain the feeling when you see like 80-90% in quant, when you see that you have gone from 50-60 to like again 90-95 in RC, and CR is going well as, but when it comes to SC, there's like 60-50% accuracy. So it's really like disheartening at a point.
Mhm.
So unless and until you bring yourself to the point where you can accept finally that okay, there is some problem with my basics, and I need to go over everything that is being taught by you over again. And then
Mhm.
again, I took notes. Honestly, that's a big thing for me because I never took notes. Even in my school,
Mhm.
even in my college, I like had 3 years in college. I never took notes. I took notes for this thing, and it honestly helped me a lot.
Right, right.
So
Because
that's what,
it your intuition is checked after that. I think you do stick to those rules only, and that
right.
parameters. Yeah, clearly.
And honestly,
And
it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't really stick to the exam only. Like
right.
when nowadays when I'm conversing with people, they try to correct me, and I'm like please don't don't try to do that. Like I have had like I'm so much well versed with the rules now that in daily conversations you can point out okay, like he's making a mistake, he's not right here.
Right,
So
right.
it feels good. It feels great, honestly. Like apart
All
from
right.
the exam perspective as well.
And on the 30th, when you wrote the test, was there a particular deadline you were pursuing? Because the deferred deadlines would be a bit later. So why did
Yes.
you choose that 30th December, like end of the year? So did you want to get it out of the way then, or what was it like?
Like honestly, it was a part of it was that yes, the deferred deferred deadline was approaching, but I had this in me that I wanted to like get done with GMAT in 2022. So
Okay, okay.
I had this perspective that I'll start the year with,
Mhm.
applications and stuff. I'll move on to the next step and not really be stuck on the
So
first step.
on that day, was there anything unusual for you, Pratham? Let me know.
Mm, I don't think so. I think everything went well for me. But yeah, like I gave the exam online, and in the online experience, there are, you know, uh, problems with your let's say environment. They will tell you to close a certain window. They'll tell you to do
Mhm.
this, do that, move over. And I think like that didn't happen for me. I'm grateful, but I think that that can play badly for some other people. Like you might
Right,
panic in the very beginning, like the exam hasn't even started and you're already like moving around and doing stuff. So I would honestly recommend everybody to go for the offline exam.
right, right,
But
right.
yeah, like there
Absolutely.
was nothing out of the ordinary for me on the day.
So not even one question that would have totally stumped you or something. Not
No,
that you recall
none.
at least.
No. Like I actually I recall a lot of things, and honestly, one thing that really like blew my mind was like while I was doing quant. So again, as I mentioned, I was pretty decent with quant to begin with because I had a history with maths, and I was faring well with it. But there was one thing that happened to me really that was really surprising was that I was given a question. It was uh, can I disclose the question? Is it
Yeah, yeah,
fine?
sure, sure, you can. Absolutely no problem.
So the question was, if you had to select two diagonals from an octagon, what is the probability that those two would be parallel?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I hadn't seen such sort of question anywhere, honestly, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
throughout my whole practice. But I had reached a level of understanding where, like through a course only, like I had reached a level of understanding where I could figure my way out around the question. And
Right.
I got that question right. I googled that question up. It was given somewhere else on some different website, but I got that question right because I knew how I could deal with that. So I
Mm-hmm.
took hardly 2.5 minutes and got the question right, like a type of question that I had never seen in my life, and that was totally new for me.
Right, right. Superb, superb to know this. Really can be done with a little bit of thinking, but anyway, that's a
Yep.
separate matter. Really nice to really hear this. And did you watch any of the KTW videos, or will you watch now? I mean, what was the plan like?
Honestly, I regret not watching those while I was preparing for the exam, but I was really, stuck with these making
Yeah, yeah,
notes,
I
doing the
understand.
Excel thing and stuff. But now I have started watching those already. And honestly, I'd like to tell the students over here that KTW videos, honestly, they do help with your exam. I believe the Woodrow Wilson passage, right? That was
Right,
the
right.
one you were associated. Yeah. So it really helps with those types of RCs and SCs and all of that. But other than that, I have started to find interest in those, honestly. Like
Mhm.
I would load up a KTW video and watch it while I'm having my dinner or something. So those are
Right,
really
right.
interesting. Like apart from the
Probably you're in the early stages of it. Most people would have finished it by
right,
now, I think. Right, right. Right, right. So do finish those. I think they'll genuinely, genuinely help you quite a lot later on with the
correct.
application process in B school and later as well. There's a really large canvas that I cover in that one. So really nice, Pratham, that you could make it this time, and all the very best. And whenever you're
Thank you so
applying,
much.
do let us know and keep
Sure,
in
sir.
touch. Right. Yeah. Bye bye.
Sure.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye bye.